Welcome to Boss Up Goddess. I'm Elizabeth Ann Atkins, and I interview trailblazing women who share their wisdom to help us all live bigger, better, and bolder. And the woman you're about to meet is doing exactly that. She is a health and life coach. She's creator of the Feel Amazing Naked program and podcast. She has helped hundreds of women transform, and she likes to say she's part science and part soul. She's also been featured in Forbes and on Today Online. I want you to meet Amanda Walker. Welcome, Amanda.
Thanks for having me. Your energy is so electrifying. So it's so fun to just watch your face as you're starting with.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, I think I exemplify your mission in you are helping women awaken that power from within. And it's not about a diet, it's not about an exercise plan. It's about finding your true self and letting her shout at the top of her lungs who she is and why she's here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That is a big, huge part of it.
I just love what you do. We were so fortunate to meet at a retreat in Sedona, Arizona, and I learned all about what you do. So, Amanda, can you start by telling your story, how you became a fitness advocate? Because you're super fit. You just looking at you is inspiring. And I learned so much from you just in regular conversations. Could you share your story, please?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I kind of say that I'm an accidental entrepreneur. My own health journey is what led me to become a coach and do the work I do. And much of that catalyst was kind of my own desire to, change this woman on the outside in hopes that I would reconnect to that old self that had somehow kind of gotten lost amidst school and career and becoming a mom. And what I found was once I stumbled upon that physique I was desiring, I really truly felt empty and kind of miserable on the inside. And so that kind of awakened a deeper desire for me actually at the retreat that we like once connected at. I think it was that one or the one before. That it's not necessarily a size or shape. While I want women to feel amazing in their body and to feel fit, empowered, which is actually, I think, a part of how you boss up. Um, I also believe that the only way we can arrive at that end destination where we actually feel good in our skin is if we learn to manage our mind and really breed sustainable practices internally so that we have this like connection for that external and internal world. And
Mm.
so that's led me to here. My own journey really was a catalyst for me wanting to take women on that same, journey and take, really come back to themselves and feel like themselves again.
I love it. And your program, Feel Amazing Naked, isn't just about the naked body, it's about naked in vulnerability of who you truly are. Is that right?
Totally. It's ambiguous for a reason. It's like, feeling amazing naked is absolutely, being able to feel confident in sure your naked body, but in certain clothes, but also just feel like totally pure and confident in who you are and what your beliefs are and who you surround yourself with and what you want from the world and being able to be so like unapologetic about that.
Love that so much. So, Amanda, how do you work with women? Do you work individually, in groups, and what's your method?
So my work has changed. I used to do a lot of one-to-one work, but I'm grateful to be serving so many women that some of that has to change. So I work with only 10 one-to-one clients throughout the year. And most of my work comes inside the Feel Amazing Naked program where we follow my method called Naked. And I've refined that over the years and coming from a place of, just starting with women and kind of seeing how I weave in my method and what's most effective. And really that starts with nourishing the internal self, because I do believe when you eat good foods and you move your body, like just amazing things can start to happen in your life and gain momentum in other areas. And much of that work, though, in the beginning really is a little bit of flipping the script on the traditional health and nutrition practices, which are heavily based on food. And what we do is put a lot of energy on mind and thought management and self-awareness and use tools like writing, which
Mhm,
is, as you know,
mhm,
and things like meditation practice, just to like heighten and step into self-awareness around all the good stuff happening inside your brain.
mhm, mhm. What are some of the most common blocks or challenges that you notice women have in implementing all the things you just said?
I think one thing, I mean, there's several things, but I think of what I hear most is when we want to like go on this journey of transformation, we want to do all the things like at the same time. And so it's helping women see that in doing all those things, we're really not mastering anything. So in our program, myself and I have coaches that also coach with me. We're constantly asking our girls, like, is that your HLA or high leverage action? Like, what's the thing that's going to most support the result that's most important to you? And letting go of this like internal chatter that happens that we have to do and have all the things at once, and just trusting and kind of leaning into the process of time. So I think
Mhm.
that's one. Another block I see is like just the constant um, thoughts that bring up feelings of guilt around taking ownership for what they want and creating space to care for themselves. And
Mhm.
I tend to work with a lot of mothers, and that mom guilt sometimes is like very heavy, and they're deep in a belief that if they take care of themselves first, that they will be doing a disservice to their families. So doing a lot of work around actually seeing that it's the opposite. The more we care for ourselves, the better parent we can be, more money we make, the more greater friendships we have. And I would say those come to mind immediately when you ask that question.
Wow, mom guilt. Oh my gosh, it's so real. I hear women talk about that all the time. So, can you tell some success stories, Amanda? You don't have to name names, but
I mean, there's lots which I feel very grateful for. I think of some women. I think when we speak to success, success is really self-judged, because
Mm.
some success is, sure, weight loss and the physical transformation, while other success is, being able to go out to dinner and leave that table with just utter peace in their mind and body of choosing something that just like felt good, and leaving the
Mhm,
table without guilt or
mhm,
self-defeating thoughts. Um,
mhm,
so I think it's really like so many. I mean, I work with clients around anxiety and anxiousness too, and just being able to get to the root cause of their unique struggle of what's holding them back, because it's not a fits all approach. So there's just so many different unique successes. A mom, for instance, who has anxiety about driving and now can step into a car and drive her kids down the freeway, and is like living a
mm,
totally different life. So it's really the
mhm.
gamut, but the I would say the tie to all of that is the tools that I teach to help ladies really get more self-aware and learn to manage their mind. And by managing their minds, they can have any result they desire in life.
Mm, managing their minds. I love that so much. So, how do you manage your mind? Do you have a mantra or what do you do?
I would say it's less about the mantra and more about the self-awareness of what thoughts are coming in. And when we start to kind of see, I always like picture it like a Mack truck, right? When we start to see that it's like all of a sudden this Mack truck is flying through your brain, and we're able to see how that Mack truck makes us feel. And when we are able to connect to that feeling, a lot of what I think we grow up, well, at least I don't want to speak for a lot of people, but in my upbringing, what I always thought is that my action drove what the results that I got in my life. So if you want something, like if you want the A, go do the homework, right? But what wasn't ever given to me as a gift was to see what came before that. And it was actually that I had a thought that drove me to feel excited maybe or driven, and that feeling helped me take action to do the homework, then to have the results. So I think a lot of women get stuck because they're like, why am I not taking action to have what I want? I know what I want. So then teaching the girls to get before that and to see that there was something that happened that made them have a thought, and the feeling is really the driver behind why we do take action or why we don't. And so when we
Mm.
start to make that connection, it's like it illuminates this whole world around us, and that's really empowering.
Wow, fascinating, Amanda. That just highlights what you call yourself on your website, root cause ninja.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Root cause ninja, transformation mentor. That is so cool. It's very innovative. So you are in Phoenix, Arizona. And you
Yes.
are fortunate to, you said you're going on a retreat. That
Yes. Yes.
that is so, like, we met in Sedona at a retreat, and you get to go lead one now, right?
Yes, so I do, like, things have evolved over the years. And so a portion of the work I do is surrounding health and kind of wellness and mindset based coaching. And then having grown kind of this coaching practice, I support other ladies in the online space to grow their coaching and consulting practices. So
Mhm.
we have a group of 10 women. We've been together. And part of this program called the Inner Circle is we meet on the front end and back end of the program. And so these girls are going to start preparing and really diving deeper into what 2021 looks like for them.
Oh, that's amazing. And you have a new program, right, to go along with that?
Yes, so just it's like organic, right? Like how
Uh-huh.
things evolve, and I'm sure you've
Yes.
experienced that so
Uh-huh.
much. It's like you help women claim ownership of what they want in their life. And what I've seen emerge through the years now is now they're like finding that job that no longer like fulfilled them, right? Or that emptiness inside is really because they're lacking like a purpose beyond just motherhood, right?
Mhm.
And so they're, what has come of it is me supporting more women in business and building a business that's sustainable and also feels good and is one of the things I teach is the feel good method. It's like always touching on your intuition when we're making business decisions. And the more we're in alignment with that, like the more good stuff and comes with it. So we're launching in March the Feel Amazing Naked Business Accelerator, which is really to help coaches or people that desire to have some sort of coaching practice, not just in the health space, lots of different coaches out there and consultants start to take that idea and turn it into a profitable business within our time together.
Oh, I love that. I love how things are just evolving so beautifully for you to sort of level up how you're serving others to help them elevate.
Yes. It
That's
feels
awesome.
crazy, honestly. Sometimes it's like, whoa, I mean, it wasn't long ago I was teaching high school and
Oh my
now
gosh.
yeah, wow, this is it. And I think that's how, like going back to your mission too, is really growing up in this environment. I didn't grow up around entrepreneurship at all. And so I went thinking there was like this manual, right? You go to school, you go to grad school, you get a job, you get married, you have kids. And I think stepping into entrepreneurship just really begins to shift your view of like how just wide open the world could potentially be if you
Mm.
choose to move away from that kind of manual or narrative and step into something different.
Mhm. And do you feel fulfilled? Like, do you wake up in the morning excited to get to do what you do?
I do. I don't want that to ever go away.
Mhm. Mhm. Is that what inspires you to evolve, to offer new programs in different ways?
I think there's nothing like it's very fulfilling to see to be on the other end of watching a woman just like see the wheels turn, like the lights come on and to like celebrate their victories or for that business client to like make their first dollar, like creating something from the ground up,
Uh-huh.
right? Because that's
Yes.
part of that success marker in a lot of ways. And I think it's that. And I also think the creative aspect of entrepreneurship, it's like literally you can do anything you want if you
Uh-huh.
believe that thought. And I think that creativity piece of like problem solving, have this idea, how do I like tinker and play with it and then make it come to life?
Yes, Amanda. So I remember on the retreat, there was no gym, and you're very fit, and you just totally created your own workout outside on the hill. It was just so cool to watch you. So can you talk about what does wellness in mind, body, and spirit mean to you? What keeps you motivated?
Yeah, that's funny that you said that. I kind of forgot about that moment, but what keeps me motivated, honestly, is the feeling I know I will receive when I am doing that movement, that workout. And so that's something I teach is like we get so focused sometimes on the results and we're so driven sometimes by I want to do the thing because I want to lose weight or I want to do the thing because I'm expecting an outcome. But I think one of the key factors of sustainability and not relying on motivation actually is just like constantly connecting to that feeling. Like I know what strong feels like in my body and I love that feeling. And the more I connect with that feeling, like the more I want of that feeling. And I think
Hmm.
equitable to food, right? I remember your green smoothies. I don't know if you still eat those.
Every day.
Okay. That green smoothie makes you feel just energized
Yeah,
and
I just had one.
yeah, okay. And so you connect to it easily. It makes you come back every day because you know the feeling that you receive
Yes.
from it. And I think sometimes we're
Wow.
disconnected with that feeling piece. And so for me, that's a big piece.
Wow. You know what? I've never heard anybody break it down like in terms of exercise in the moment of how good it feels as the motivation. Because usually people are looking for the end result, but that's the ultimate mindfulness, staying in the moment. Like, I feel so good right now while I'm huffing and puffing and sweating and my heart's pounding. That's awesome, Amanda. Thank you. That was a shift.
Yay, good.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Huh.
Now you're going to take that nugget with you and tune into it. And I think that when we connect to that feeling, whether it's peace, or for me, strong is like definitely a word that I come to a lot as far as that feeling is, but I think it's different for everyone. But
Mhm.
I do think that it helps. It supersedes results when we know that feeling. And the beautiful thing is that when we have that feeling, it drives the action over and over and over. And so sometimes
Mhm.
when I hear girls start, like, I had a client last night who used to be super fit, and she is really stuck in this like comparison game of her old self. And she's having a really hard time just moving, like just starting, right? Just starting 0 to 1, the hardest part for many people. And so I held space for her and was like, okay, your accountability in the next 24 hours is, let's come up with a workout. What are you going to go do? And I asked her, like, how do you want to feel? And so she kind of told me the feeling, and I gave her the assignment. She went, she did the thing. And the first thing I said, she's like, I did it. Like, I did it. And the whole time I was just thinking about that feeling, and it feels so good. And so afterwards I was like, can you journal really quickly what that feeling is, and how do you come back to it when you're not in the moment of working out constantly? And I think that that's maybe just a different shift, like you said, on and thinking about not relying on motivation.
Wow, that's so awesome how another person can help us shift. So, we were at that retreat twice with Lisa Peterson, getting guidance from her, and that helped us both shift into awesome things that we're doing now. So, Amanda, why is it that we need someone else to coach us to excel or to shift or to like just break out of the confines we're finding ourselves in?
Yeah, it's so crazy you asked me that question, because 2 hours ago, I also have a podcast, like you mentioned, and I was recording an episode for February. And it was like the single most important thing you need to grow your business, which was my carrot, right? But really, the inside content was investment in a coach and investment in yourself, because I do think a couple things about that. Why do we need them? I think they are objective. Like, the right coach can be objective for us and help us see our blind spots, because I think sometimes we're just so in the bottle, we can't read the label from the outside. And
Wait, 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 say that again. We're so in the bottle, we can't.
yes,
What?
have you not heard that analogy before?
No!
Okay, so the saying is, you can't read the label from inside the bottle.
Oh my gosh. What?
Yes.
Oh, wait, let's just sit with that for a second. I have chills. That's so powerful. What does
Yeah.
it mean to you? What does that mean?
To me, it means we're so in our own life, or even in business, we're so in our own messaging. And if we're our ideal client, or we were our ideal client, we've forgotten, because we're so far in our journey, like where they were too. And so sometimes in business, we're like inside the bottle, because we're like, oh yeah, we know. And we're not really stepping outside to see like what it was like for our clients. But in coaching, our clients are so stuck in their life, the monotony of the 9 to 5, the rat race. But then we can take with fresh eyes an outsider look, and I like to say, become a voyeur of your
Uh-huh.
life, and give feedback. And I think that it's critical, because and especially if we choose the right coach, they've done the thing we want to do, and they've had some failures and gotten some feedback from that, so they can help us get there faster than if we would do it on our own. And I think that's another really important reason about why having support, and just having somebody to land on that isn't so in your life. While my husband's an amazing resource, he also is super biased and he thinks I'm pretty awesome. And I think he's pretty awesome. And so sometimes we need somebody that isn't so in our life to be able to help us see it from the outside.
Oh, I love that, Amanda. That is so cool. So, are there any other tools that you use personally? Like you mentioned journaling, you mentioned some other things. Are there any things that you do on a daily basis that help you as a busy mom, wife, and entrepreneur?
I mean, a few like food is everything. I think just having, really balanced and intentional real food meals is, I mean, a secret sauce that I think a lot of entrepreneurs overlook to performance.
Mhm.
But definitely I'm meditating and journaling every morning. There's moments where I dabble in breath work. Um, I think a practice that I both teach and walk, the talk in every week is something I call grounding day. And that's when I spend time on my Sunday, just really stepping back and looking at a big picture of my life and being able to stop. I think a lot of times we compartmentalize our life and we're like, business is here, relationships are here, fitness is
Mhm.
here. And so within the program, we teach often that um, like learning to weave all those things together and kind of look at the non-negotiables and learning how to put ourselves first, even though there's this tug of war often in our brain that tells us like, I shouldn't put myself first.
Uh-huh.
And so I think that's what helps me, find, I don't know about balance, but it's more like a rhythm
Mhm.
that happens, and there's, some ebbs and flows in it. And yeah, that helps me bring everything together because I am typically in the evenings. Um, I'm parenting, I'm bussing kids around to practices, and by day running a business. I've got kids homeschooling right now too. So there's a lot to be managed, and it doesn't happen in the moment. I believe it happens by coming up with and utilizing some proactive strategy to help you see it before it all begins.
That's awesome. See it all before it all begins. So, what do you see for your future?
I mean, my dreams are definitely, it's funny because that used to be more financially driven. And the further on I've realized that I don't really know what that monetary figure is. It is a feeling. It goes back to a feeling of like, how much can I push my full potential and still have like this place in my life that feels really good. And I'm keeping hold of the priority piece of definitely being a present mom. So I definitely see the business coaching side of my business growing through the Accelerator and the Inner Circle. I have a big dream of building a big space at my house to host live. We recently moved, so we live on a lot more land now. And so I've been more and more having this dream that's been coming in about building like a place to have women and host women to do like intensives. And so I don't know, I'm open to that part, but I definitely see a lot more of the same in a good way.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome, Amanda. I'm certain that you're going to just really rock it all. What have you noticed during COVID that is particularly affecting women, and how can you help?
I think that, during the last year, I think that it's just connection. That's why, I've been in doing a virtual coaching practice and we've both been a part of that. And so it's beautiful for us because we already, I guess, we're aware of the tools available to us in the online space. For a lot of women, that's brand new.
Mhm.
And so I think more than ever is just the connection piece. When COVID started really in the beginning and we went into this like super heightened awareness, I started this pop-up group called Coffee and Calm. We were just meditating and journaling, literally strangers every single day for months and months and months. And I think that was an illuminating piece to me. It was just like, we all want to be heard. We all want to be felt like we're more alike than different. So I think that connection is key. And then I think something that's come up a lot for me in coaching is discussions around anxiety and anxious thoughts. And I think that the tools I teach have been pretty profound for people to move through that. And something I love to challenge ladies on is, just this notion of anxiety versus a woman that has anxious thoughts occasionally, and that stark place is like, it feels very like there's a fine line here, but an entirely different outcome in our life when we don't hold that as part of our identity, but just a temporary state.
Oh,
Um,
yes, yes.
and so that's
Mhm.
been really exciting actually to just support and see women transform in that area.
Mm.
But let's face it, like being locked in your house bubbles up all the things that we're trying to resist doing work around. And so it's been really cool just to see so many women in my program rise to the surface and just be willing to do that work.
Oh, that's awesome, Amanda. I'm so excited for you and so happy that you're able to provide help to all these women with your gifts. So I'm certain you're going to touch many, many more lives. If
Wow.
people want to, thanks.
Right back at you.
Thanks. So for people who want to work with you or learn more about you, where can they reach you, Amanda?
The easiest place would be to visit feelamazingnaked.com. And if
Okay.
you want to get to know more of just my words and my voice and philosophy, the podcast, you can find it on any podcast platform, which is Feel Amazing Naked.
Mhm.
And you can find links on the website to book a session if you want to just chat about the work I do. And then if you're interested in the the business accelerator, I'm losing my mind here. It's
Uh-huh. In March?
amandawalker.com
Okay.
or business. So yes,
AmandaWalker.com/business.
business. Yes, you got it.
Okay, so that's separate
Yes,
than your Feel Amazing Naked platform.
we just
Okay.
launched a new website under my name now. So just learning all those branding changes.
Uh-huh.
Over.
Excellent. Wow. Well, I wish you the absolute best with that and everything that you're doing and wellness for your family and success. And I hope you build your retreat center. That's going to be amazing. So, is there anything else you'd like to share with women right now, Amanda?
Um, I really feel like we shared so many nuggets, but it's more just a gratitude for you to
Mm.
invite me on and to be amongst like-minded souls, sharing a message to better people. It's just super awesome to not have been together for years and come together today to support each other.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you so much. Well, I wish you the best. And thank you, all of you, for joining us here on Boss Up Goddess, where you got to meet Amanda Walker, creator of the Feel Amazing Naked program, podcast, and soon to come Business Accelerator. Wow, and hopefully retreat center as well.
I'll keep teaching.
Excellent. I'll put the links in the description box so you can get a hold of Amanda if you'd like to contact her through her websites. So thank you. And I'm Elizabeth Ann Atkins, and I wish you the absolute best. Please do like, share, subscribe, comment, and click the notification bell so you know every time I go live or upload a new video. Meanwhile, boss up, goddess, and remember, you have the power.